Hey folks, I'm Rupali, your host, and welcome back to Crime Hack. On the investigation trail of their childhood friend Aakash's beat up, where the attackers had stolen his bike too, Raj and Sandy were ambushed, and Raj had to take a break to recuperate. While Sandy was investigating alone and followed a suspect Tushar, he got ambushed again but managed to escape somehow. Next afternoon, the boys had planned a trekking trip with friends. While going to the rendezvous spot, Sandy spots Aakash's stolen bike with Tushar riding pillion, and Sandy starts following them. The suspects split up, with Tushar jumping the fence of the Katraj zoo, and Sandy follows. The other suspect has taken to the road on the stolen bike, and Raj follows him. Sandy follows Tushar to the Katraj lake in the heart of the zoo and loses him. However, he discovers a doorway to an underground tunnel system and goes in. A scraping sound is coming from up ahead, but he feels a breeze and decides to explore it as a possible escape route. He finds a door and tries to open it, but it creates a huge rattle and Sandy runs for his life. And now, Nayak Brothers and the Mystery of the Catacombish Tunnels by Rupali Rajapadhe Roti, Part 27. He blinked in the bright sunlight and found himself standing in a stone structure. A haud? He thought, surprised. Haud is the Marathi word for a huge public open water storage tank. Many old cities, including Pune, were littered with such hauds, which were constructed out of rocks by the kings and knights for the benefit of the common man. Then came a second realization, followed by another adrenaline rush. Tushar must have heard the clatter, and he might come to investigate. As a rabbit, Sandy hopped over the rock structure and bounded into the street. Once there, he hid himself behind a parked car, his trousers dripping wet, and stood watching the recently opened rock door. He wiped the cold sweat from his forehead and then looked around. "Hey, this is the bait area," he said out loud, astonished. "So the underground tunnel from the Katraj lake brings one to the bait area?" He marveled in awe. For a long time he stood waiting behind the car, but he couldn't see anyone emerge from the opening. He was stumped. Hadn't Tushar heard the racket I created? He wondered now whether the scraping sound inside the tunnel was indeed created by Tushar, or was it something else? Then again, if Tushar was in there at all, he would either have scampered out of there or would be waiting for him if he ventured back in. In any case, it was safe or logical not to go back in there. This thus decided, he thought about his next move. Looking at his watch, he realized it was almost 1 p.m. and wondered how Raj had fared in his chase and whether he had contacted any of their friends waiting at the main gate of the Katraj zoo. He knew Dev's mobile number by heart and decided to call him from a payphone. But as soon as it started ringing, Dev disconnected the incoming call and Sandy was incredulous. Nevertheless, he decided to call off his picnic and head home. As it is, he was dripping wet with the stinking, slimy water of the ancient dark lake. Ew! He shuddered again at the mere thought of it. He had to hail a few rickshaws before one stopped for him, and he hopped in. Meanwhile, Raj had taken off after the other guy. His quarry had rounded the corner along the zoo fence and had headed toward the front gate when Raj decided to call his friends and tell them not to wait for them for the trek to Sinhgarh. So, keeping his pursuit going, he pulled out his mobile and dialed Dev's number. "What yaar?" Dev immediately sounded annoyed at the news, but Raj threw a teaser. "Guess what? I'm tailing a person who is riding Aakash's bike right now." "No way!" Dev was incredulous. Oh. On a half-choked word, Raj urgently squeezed on the brakes and Dev panicked. What? What happened?" he asked, alarmed. When Raj could breathe again, he replied in a shaky voice, Nothing. A mama just caught me. A traffic policeman had barged right into Raj's path for talking over a cell phone while driving. In Maharashtra, it is thought that a mama, that is maternal uncle, could be requested to do anything, thus fooling him to accept all your demands. And people have the same notion towards traffic policemen as well. Thus, even though it may not be true with every policeman, the name Mama has stuck. However, the traffic policemen feel offended at such a reference. So, as expected, Raj was stopped for a ticket and he decided to finish the call anyway. Taking his bike aside, he said into the phone, Hey, could you take the chase from here? You'd be seeing the bike coming your way right now. You were on this road. Dave scanned the bikes coming his way and soon enough spotted his brother's vehicle. Got you now, he said triumphantly. Dave, no score settling, okay? Raj warned. This guy could be dangerous. Maybe he knows you as well, so don't show yourself at any cost. Dave agreed, though half-heartedly, and then zoomed after the culprit. There was a moment when Raj thought of telling the traffic policeman about the stolen bike. But thinking ahead, he realized that if the traffic policeman acted according to the procedure, they would be able to nab the fugitive, but they may not be able to find out what he was up to. So, without a word, he finished off with him and then joined the trekking group at the main entrance of the Katraj zoo. Hi, he greeted them distractedly. Where did they fly off to? Ajay asked him. I know he was talking to you. Poking a finger at Ajay's abdomen, Raj teased. Wouldn't you want to know, buddy boy? Huh? Tickled, Ajay first shrank and then lashed out at Raj, who immediately objected. Hey, get your filthy hands off me. I'm straight. Oh yeah? Then a punch would be just fine for you, touch me not, wouldn't it? Wah! Raj dodged. You'd have to catch me first, pervert. Raj challenged with a twinkle in his eye. He had already gunned his bike to life and had started for their destination when the other boys took off after him. Finally, parking the bikes by the edge of the woods in their regular spot, the party started off on foot. There was no other trekking group for company and the vast expanse looked deserted except for the 5 of them. Raj, Ajay, Sachin, Chetan and Sushil. Even though it was hot and sunny and most of their pals weren't there for company, the 5 boys soon started enjoying themselves, clicking pictures, pulling each other's legs and running short distances, their backpacks loaded with water and food items. It was a bit over an hour when suddenly they heard a man scream in the distance behind them and they froze. The voice had sounded familiar. When a second scream followed, this time of a different person, the boys didn't wait any longer. They dashed in the direction of the sound. So friends, if you like the story so far, please subscribe, click the bell icon, support the channel and don't forget to share. You can also challenge us to watch and review your favorite movie, book or TV show and support us on Patreon so we could shout out your name in the review. To submit your challenge, please go to our page on Patreon, II Crime Hack II. I publish a new episode every Monday, Wednesday and Friday with bonus content on other days. So, keep a lookout. Until next time, keep safe. Namaste.